Action.
For my next lesson, it's going to be about alcohol and chronic alcoholism. And this lesson is designed to be anywhere through 6th through 12th health. I think that high school would probably be a little bit more appropriate, but it would also work for 6th graders, 6th through 8th graders in middle school as well. And the student objectives for this lesson is going to be students will be able to identify some of the health concerns in regards to chronic alcoholism. So for this lesson, the first half of it is going to be going through a slideshow with some health effects of chronic alcoholism as a class, and students can take notes on this. They would be encouraged to take notes on this. And then after the slideshow, there'll be a quiz that the class will be able to collaborate on, choose an answer for the projection screen to pick, and then they'd be able to see if their answer is right, and if it was wrong, they'd get an explanation on what the right answer is, why it's the right answer. So, class would come in and start class. So, good morning, class. Today, we're going to be talking about alcohol, and more specifically, chronic alcoholism. So, as we all know, chronic alcoholism is when someone is alcohol dependent and they are addicted to alcohol, because as we all know, alcohol is a drug, and they become addicted to alcohol and they drink heavily with regularity. And that can have, obviously, that can have a detrimental effect on your social life and your relationships with the people around you and your work and everything like that. But the thing that goes unseen is there's a huge detrimental effect on your body and on health of your body. So, if we could all take out a notebook and a piece of paper, we're going to get led through the slideshow right here on the sweet Samsung overhead projection screen. So, as I said, it's no secret that alcohol consumption can cause major health problems. We all know that. We've talked about that. The first, anemia. So, what anemia is anemia describes the oxygen carrying content in your blood cells, and it can make this be very, very low, and this will trigger symptoms such as fatigue, shortness of breath, and just lightheadedness. You just don't feel into it. You're tired, basically. And that's because your blood cells aren't able to carry as much oxygen. There's not as much red blood cells, the oxygen carrying blood cells, and you're not able to get enough oxygen to your body, which you need oxygen. Kind of important. Cancer. Alcohol is a carcinogen. It can cause cancer in your liver, which has to process all the alcohol. It can cause cancer in your stomach, in your esophagus, your mouth. Pretty much anything that comes into contact with the alcohol can cause cancer. And remember, this is for prolonged alcoholism, long-term alcoholism. Cardiovascular disease. Basically what this is it can cause blood clots. So, cardiomyopathy, that's a deadly condition in the heart, and muscle weakness, you can fall, abnormalities in your heart rhythm, basically any kind of heart disease you can think of causes blood clots in your heart, plaque builds up on your arteries, heart attacks, obviously, blood clots could lead to stroke as well, heart disease. Psoriasis. Psoriasis is a skin, psoriasis is toxic to the liver cells, and heavy drinkers can develop psoriasis, and this is what happens when the liver becomes very heavily scarred. And like I said before, when your liver has to process all the alcohol, scar tissue can build up on your liver and it can become heavily scarred. And just kind of a fun fact right there, if you look at it, people don't know, but for some reason women who show signs of alcoholism, prolonged alcoholism, can develop psoriasis of their liver more often than men, which they don't really know why that is. Dementia. Dementia is a mind-related disease, and it usually comes on, we usually see it in people that are older, they can develop dementia, and it's kind of similar to Alzheimer's a little bit. And you have problems making judgment, problem solving problems. Sometimes you forget people. It's a brain disease, and you kind of lose yourself a little bit when you have dementia. You see it in old people a lot. Just kind of as you age, you can get more prone to having dementia, developing dementia. However, if you have alcoholism, you can get early onset dementia, and that can be a contributing factor. Depression. Depression is less of a disease that you can get from alcoholism. Rather, you can develop this chronic feeling. And depression is indeed a disease, but it's a different kind of disease than, say, heart disease. Depression is just feeling dull in the dumps, no motivation to do anything. Your life can fall around you, and very similar to any drug, alcoholism can lead to depression because everything around you is falling apart, and the only thing that you have is the alcohol. And it's what's causing your depression, but at the same time, that's what you go to self-medicate. So depression is a big one for alcoholism. Oftentimes, long-term alcoholism can lead to depression. Or, on the flip side, depression can cause people to turn to alcohol and alcoholism. Seizures. We're in Minnesota. I don't know how many of you guys are Gopher fans, but scary moment a couple years ago when Jerry Kill had a seizure on the sideline, and it's basically when you lose control of part of your body and your muscle spasms, and it's not like a cramp muscle spasm, it's more